Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into some really fascinating sources, looking at a big shift in personal growth thinking.
Yeah, it's about moving from just internal discipline to something more like external freedom.
Exactly. We're here to unpack this let them theory that's
hmm
starting to emerge and figure out why you might need it, even if you feel like you've already got the action part down pat.
Right. And that's kind of the core tension, isn't it? A lot of people know the author behind the 5-second rule,
Mhm.
super famous.
Oh, yeah, everyone knows that one.
And it was amazing for tackling procrastination, for getting yourself moving. But the sources we looked at show she hit a point where she realized action by itself wasn't the whole picture for happiness.
Hmm. So she'd won the battle against herself, like getting out of bed, making the calls.
Exactly. But the war against the outside world, the chaos, worrying about other people, that was still just draining everything.
Okay, so let's back up for a second. To really get the weight of this let them idea, we need to understand where the first rule came from. The 5-second rule didn't just pop out of nowhere, right?
Absolutely not. You have to understand the desperation. The origin story really sets the stage. I mean,
Hmm.
picture it. She's 41, she's unemployed, her husband's business is tanking.
Oof.
Yeah, and they're looking at something like $800,000 in debt. Just massive. And she's completely paralyzed by anxiety, stuck.
Stuck ales.
Like classic avoidance, hitting snooze constantly, drinking a bit too much maybe, blaming everyone else, just feeling totally incapable of even looking at the bills, let alone finding a job.
And it wasn't that she didn't know what she should do. It
Right?
was the overthinking.
Precisely. That's the key. She knew she needed to make calls, update her resume, face the finances, but her brain would just instantly talk her out of it. Every single time.
Been there, so what changed?
The revelation, it was sort of accidental. One morning, just lying there, feeling awful, she remembered seeing a NASA rocket launch on TV. The countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Exactly. And she thought, what if I just did that? To myself. Use it like an override switch for all the excuses and the self-doubt.
So literally counting backwards from 5.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. The instant she hit 1, she had to physically move, launch herself out of bed, or later, pick up the phone, or just open that terrifying pile of bills.
So it's a physical mechanism, not a mental trick.
That's the core insight. It bypasses the mental chatter. The lesson wasn't about finding motivation. It was realizing that action itself interrupts that destructive loop of I don't feel like it.
And proving that fundamental idea, you can feel absolutely terrible, scared, whatever,
Hmm.
and still do the thing you need to do.
That rule basically hammers home. Small, consistent action is what digs you out. No one's coming to save you. You got to launch yourself.
And clearly, it resonated.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't just her personal fix. How did it even get out there?
Well, that's another story. It wasn't some grand launch. She basically blurted it out 19 minutes into a talk about career change while having a massive, like 21-minute long anxiety attack on stage at one of the very first TEDx conferences. She said she regretted it immediately.
Wow. But people responded.
Oh, big time. The talk went viral, like really viral. One of the most watched TEDx talks ever.
And that must have brought in waves of feedback.
Huge waves, emails flooding in, people using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for, everything. Getting sober, starting businesses, losing over 100 pounds, finding new jobs.
Incredible.
And what really stands out in the sources is the clinical side. Doctors, psychologists, therapists started using it with patients for things like PTSD, OCD, depression.
That's serious impact.
And maybe the most powerful thing, over 1,000 people wrote to her saying they used 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in a moment of crisis to stop themselves from attempting suicide and actually reach out for help.
Just, wow, that little countdown.
Yeah, built on years of hard work, mind you. This wasn't overnight success. She started doing unpaid speaking gigs in like church basements and bars, sometimes breaking out in hives from anxiety.
The grind behind the glamour.
Totally. First year, only 17 paid speeches. But by the third year, 99 speeches plus a 24-city tour. She ended up becoming the most booked female speaker globally.
That timeline is something. Age 41, the anxiety attack on stage. Age 49, she self-publishes the book. Then at 54, launches one of the world's top podcasts.
Yeah, proof of the rule itself, right? Consistent action over time.
Okay, so the 5-second rule is undeniably powerful for that internal battle. Getting yourself to act despite fear or hesitation. So why the need for something new? Where did it fall short?
Because the rule really only controls you, your actions. It doesn't magically make traffic disappear or stop your boss from micromanaging or prevent family drama.
Right? Life keeps happening
Well,
externally.
exactly. And our sources show that even after mastering her own discipline, using the rule consistently, the author still felt exhausted, still hesitant sometimes, still overwhelmed. She had the tool to act, but she was burning out anyway.
Okay, so this is the turning point. This leads us to the new stuff. She realized the burnout wasn't from her own lack of doing things anymore.
Right. It was coming from somewhere else.
Which was?
This was the shocking bit for her, apparently. The biggest energy drain, the source of the remaining hesitation, was the constant effort spent managing or worrying about other people.
Their opinions, what they might think, their expectations.
Their moods, their behavior, trying to please them, trying to avoid disappointing them, all of that.
That makes sense. It's like this invisible workload we all carry.
Totally. It's the trap of control. We live as if we can actually control how others react or feel about us.
Yeah, like if I just say the perfect thing, they'll like me. Or if I take on all the work, my boss will finally respect me. Or if I always say yes, my family will be happy.
Exactly. We think we can force outcomes through our own perfect performance. And the sources argue that assumption. That's what burns us out. Because the reality is you cannot control other people.
It sounds so simple, but it's profound when you really sit with it.
It is. And it's not just some modern self-help idea. This lines up directly with ancient wisdom, If you look at therapeutic approaches or philosophies like Stoicism, they all emphasize drawing that line.
The line between what you can control and what you can't.
Precisely. Your thoughts, your actions, those are inside your hula hoop, so to speak. Everything else, other people's choices, global events, the weather, outside the hoop, peace comes from focusing your energy inside the hoop.
Okay, so the 5-second rule gives you the muscle to control what's inside your own action.
Right. It forces the launch.
And this new theory, it deals with everything outside the hoop by introducing these two words.
Let them.
Let them.
That's the switch. The permission slip you give yourself to stop trying to manage the unmanageable. It's the method to reclaim all that time and energy you've been pouring into worrying about or trying to fix or seeking approval from others.
How does it work practically? If someone gets mad because I set a boundary.
Oh, yes, let them be mad. Basically, yes. You state your boundary, you hold your ground, and if they have a negative reaction, you let them have it. It's their reaction to manage, not yours.
Okay, but I got to ask, because I know someone listening is thinking, doesn't that sound a bit cold?
Yeah.
Or like aggressive? Like you just stopped caring about people.
That's a really important distinction, and the sources address it head on. It's not about apathy. Apathy is not caring about the outcome at all. Let them isn't about not caring. It's about caring deeply about your own well-being, your own path, your own peace.
Okay.
And you stop trying to wrestle control over their feelings or choices away from them. It's actually an act of respect in a way. You're trusting them, maybe forcing them sometimes to manage their own emotions and deal with the consequences of reality, which is healthier for everyone involved long term.
So it's not I don't care, it's I can't control that, so I will focus on what I can control, which is my own response and my own life.
You got it. It's about alignment, not apathy. Aligning your energy with what truly serves your life.
Okay, so if traffic is making me crazy, I can't control the other drivers. So I focus on my own safe driving, my breathing, maybe put on some music and let them weave in and out like maniacs.
Exactly. Or that friend who's always complaining. You listen, you can be supportive, but you don't have to absorb it or feel responsible for fixing their mood. You let them have their perspective without it derailing your whole day.
The source material breaks this down into different areas, right?
Yeah, it gets specific. Like managing daily stress, there's literally a part called let them stress you out.
Oh.
Which sounds provocative, but the point is, stress exists. Life throws curveballs. Your job isn't to eliminate all stressors impossible, but to manage your reaction to them. Let the stressor be what it is. Manage yourself.
And what about that huge one fear of judgment? Worrying what people think. That stops so many of us.
Big focus, handled by this really liberating idea. Let them think bad thoughts about you.
Ooh, that feels dangerous.
It feels dangerous because we're wired to seek approval. But think about it. The fear of being judged, misunderstood, or disliked. It's often the single biggest thing holding you back from taking risks, speaking up, launching the business, whatever it is.
True.
If you can genuinely internalize, I cannot control their thoughts, so I will let them think whatever they want, It frees up an incredible amount of mental energy, energy you can now use to actually do the thing you were afraid to do.
That's powerful. And relationships. The author apparently calls relationships the #1 factor for happiness. How does let them apply there? That seems trickier.
It is trickier, but maybe even more crucial. Let them in relationships is incredibly revealing. It helps you navigate things like friendships that might be fading naturally.
Instead of forcing it.
Right. Let them fade if the energy isn't reciprocal. But maybe more importantly, it helps in choosing partners and maintaining healthy dynamics. The core lesson is summed up as, let them show you who they are.
Meaning, stop making excuses for them.
Exactly. Stop explaining away bad behavior. Stop trying to twist yourself into knots to make them meet your expectations. Observe their actions consistently over time. Let their behavior be the data, accept the evidence they provide about who they really are.
And then you can make clear choices based on reality, not potential or wishful thinking.
Precisely. It allows you to choose relationships, friendships, romantic partners, even professional ones that genuinely add to your life instead of spending all your energy trying to manage or fix the people who are already draining you.
Okay, I'm seeing the connection now. The 5-second rule give you the muscle, the activation energy to push past your own internal fear and inertia.
The internal power.
And the let them theory gives you the framework for navigating the external world, for achieving interpersonal freedom by letting go of the need to control others.
That's a perfect way to put it. The synthesis is key. For years, maybe your whole life, you've likely tied your sense of worth, your happiness to these external things. Did I please my parents? Does my boss think I'm smart? Do my friends approve of my choices? All the time. The sources promise that when you really start implementing let them, you cut those strings. You untie your well-being from other people's unpredictable behavior and opinions. Your life gets easier, less exhausting, and kind of paradoxically, your relationships often get better because they become based on authenticity and respect, not manipulation or control.
And we mentioned this has roots in things like Stoicism. It's not just a trendy new idea.
Not at all. It taps into that ancient wisdom, focusing only on what is truly within your sphere of influence. That's a battle people have been fighting for thousands of years. How do you find peace when the world outside is so chaotic?
And the answer, again and again, seems to be you don't control the chaos, you control your response.
That's it.
So as you, our listener, go about your day, maybe armed now with both the 5-second rule for action and this let them idea for freedom, here's something to think about, a final provocative thought.
What obligation are you carrying right now? What worry about someone else's opinion or their inevitable reaction to something you need to do or say? What is it that you're finally ready to just let them handle on their own?